big one here, and of course the Tigers are going to have their ace throwing. Tarik Skubal, 13-6 this season, 2.21 ERA, probably going to win the Cy Young, and he's going to be squaring off with George Kirby, who's 10-8 with a 4.21 ERA. Tigers short favorites here, or maybe more than short favorites. I guess minus 140 is pretty heavy. Mariners plus 118, and this game is in Seattle. Total of 7 runs. So the odds makers clearly giving some credit and respect to Skubal here. But Jenks, do we believe in the Tigers' offense once again? It's always the sabotage factor because Tarik Skubal has been very, very consistent. If you look at his last few starts, he has been an Iron Man for the Tigers. But I don't know about the Tigers' bats. Like, we saw him flash a little bit last game, but I don't know. Are you picking a side in this game?
Oh, God, I don't know. I kind of feel like the Mariners at plus money might be the call. Like, I get it with Skubal on the mound, but I know. This is so tough, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Mariners won 2-1. Do you know what I mean? Are they going to generate enough offense? I know you feel that, and I feel the same way. I'm going to go first 5 under, and it's tough. It's 3 and a hook. It's minus 157 to the under. Do I want to lay that juice? I might, but here's the thing, is that the Tigers, what we saw in the previous game in Motown, like that was a total anomaly. They normally don't hit the ball like that. That was the most runs scored in a Tigers postseason game since the 1968 World Series or something like that. And we certainly haven't seen that sort of run production in the second half of the season. So I just don't know if I trust the Tigers to give Skubal the run support he needs. And once he leaves the game, then I feel like it's all hands on deck for the Mariners and they could win this game late. So I'm much more interested in a total than a side.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like that's been the series in a nutshell. Like, I understand that we've seen, like, little flashes of, hey, this team can score runs, but, like, the first 2 games of this series were more indicative of what I expect from these teams, where it was a 1-run game, and both those first 2 games ended 3-2. But you are not getting any type of easy numbers or layups when it comes to a total, because this is kind of what the odds makers are expecting as well. Jace, I just saw this. It's gone to 5.5 for a full game total over at BetMGM. Juice to the over, though, at minus 120. Because last night when I was looking at this, it was a total of 6. And I was like, all right, maybe I can get a 7 and lay some juice. No, it's minus 205. So I do think the way you go is either first 5 or first 7. Because sometimes we do this to maybe get a little wiggle room. And if you think the starter is going to go more than 5 innings. And that's exactly what we've seen from Skubal in the postseason. He went 7 2/3, went 7 flat last time around against the Mariners and only gave up 2 earned runs. So, Jenks, I think I'm going to do first 7 under 4.5 for minus 120. I don't blame you for going first 5, but, like, it's minus 160 at MGM. You could do 3 for minus 118, but I don't know. How much do you trust George Kirby? Because I think we have established that we really trust Skubal in this situation. Yeah. George Kirby has a good start against the Tigers where he went 5 innings, 2 earned runs back on October 4th with 8 strikeouts, which is a good thing. When you're playing totals, you want to play the strikeout pitcher so they can strand those runners. Even if they get, runners on base, 3rd out, strikeout, obviously makes you feel good as an under better. So do you trust George Kirby to keep this one close?
I do because it's an elimination game and because the Tigers can't hit. I can't wait for A.J. Hinch to take out Tarik Skubal after 2 innings. That's what I can't wait to see. He drove me crazy last game.
2 innings?
I'm joking.
He will be
I know.
pitchforked.
As he should. Like, it's amazing to me. I think managers in the postseason, I think we've seen an issue with when these starters are pitching well. There's been a real inclination to pull them way too early. Like, if they're pitching, let them pitch. It's almost like, oh my God, you've gone 5 innings, 5 shutout innings. That's great. We got to get you out of here. It's like, maybe not. Maybe let them go. And I understand pitch count is a thing, but these managers are so worried about arm fatigue or a guy going longer than he normally goes. Like, even if it's a few extra pitches, that they're pulling guys who are pitching really well early, and then it's coming back to bite them. Like, it almost bit the Dodgers in the butt last night where they put Emmett Sheehan in. and immediately the Phillies scored, And so I think it's okay to let these starters continue rolling if they're pitching well. So I don't think that's going to happen to Skubal, but when you're talking about George Kirby, I feel like when you look at how he's pitched against the Tigers can't hit, and because these managers are so quick to pull guys at the first sign of trouble, that's why I'm not worried about either pitcher here and why the under is the play.
Yeah. As far as Kirby goes, like back to the strikeouts, like if you look back at the regular season, he ended the regular season on an absolute tear. Had 14, 7, and 10 strikeouts against the Dodgers. So that is a good lineup, and he did that in only 5 innings. So I like the high-end potential of Kirby there. And when it comes to leaving Skubal in, I feel like A.J. Hinch knows better. And we've already seen this in the postseason where he went 7 2/3 and he went 7 innings. It is different when it's not a veteran pitcher and when it's not somebody who's going to win the Cy Young. Because I do think, situations are always different. And don't you imagine like Skubal going back and forth with Hinch? If Hinch comes out of the dugout, I feel like Skubal's going to be like, no, stay in the dugout. I'm finishing this game, damn it.
Right.
And he has the respect of his team to say something like that because he is a veteran and because he is the heart and soul of this team. So if Hinch pulls him early, like that's the biggest mistake, and I feel like Tigers fans will absolutely turn on him. If you're interested in playing outs for Skubal, because I think that is a pretty solid angle, because if you believe that the Tigers stand a chance, I think a lot of it has to do with Skubal staying in this game pretty long. But you're not getting a ton of value when it comes to earned runs, strikeouts, any of that. Like a strikeout props, I think 8.5, juiced to the over at -166. We're not playing that. But outs recorded is 19.5 for Skubal, which I had to do some math. 6 innings is 18, and 7 is 21. So it's like 6 2/3, I think. Juiced to the over at -132.
Yeah.
I think he probably goes 7. Don't you think? It's an elimination game, but do you trust somebody in the bullpen more than Skubal?
No. I trust Tarik Skubal exclusively.
With my life.
With my life. With my life. I trust him. Yeah, he wants to go. Like that's what I love about him is that he just has, brilliant stuff. I love watching great pitchers just go at it. I mean, we saw that last night. Dodgers and Phillies was a great pitching matchup. That was fantastic to watch. And so I love a good pitcher's battle in the postseason, and he's as good as it gets. Not only does he have nasty stuff, but he's so fire, and he wants to go deep in games. And most pitchers aren't built like that. They'll go their 5 or 6 innings, they'll get their quality start in, and then they're out of there, and they're fine with it. But Skubal wants to go deep in games, and that's such an old-school competitor mentality. As an old guy with soft bones, I love that. And he inspires, he motivates guys because they see how intense he is and how much he wants to win. Sometimes a pitcher can really drive a team, and I feel like he's one of those drivers.
Oh, absolutely. Like, he's the face of the franchise right now.
Yeah.
If they advance, it's going to be on the arm of Skubal. I will say from a matchup perspective, Jorge Polanco apparently has Skubal's number. Last game, he had 2 home runs off Skubal and went 3 for 4 in that game. So usually I would say, okay, let's look at, total bases, hits, runs, RBI for Polanco. But I'm not a huge fan of doing that in games that have such a low total. Like, I want all the factors to be aligning. Like, if I'm playing player props from an offensive side of things, I want it to be a real high total, not a total that's 5.5. So, no, thank you.